Hello everyone. So today we are going to talk about one of the Python data structure, which is Python dictionary, where we store some data in terms of key and value pair. So I have already prepared a video of how to work around the Python dictionary function, what is that and all. So today we are more focused towards the interview question that we do have around the Python dictionary, because that is really important to take care of it, like how to utilize if we have stored some data in forms of key and value pair. So in case we need to extract it in only the key, only the value, or both, or we used to delete some item, or we make certain changes where our data is stored into our dictionary. So I've already prepared the questions, and we are going to solve them. I have already written this in text, so I'll explain you step by step. So the very first thing here is how to get all keys of dictionary. So you know that the syntax of creating a dictionary is we use curly braces, and with colon we separate key as key and value pairs. So here apple is our key, and 10 is a value which we have assigned to this key. And we have put it that in curly braces, and the name of the dictionary is first underscore dictionary. So here, in case we need to find or get all keys of dictionary, so we have, or we already have a function keys which we can directly apply, and we can get all the keys. We can extract all the keys from that dictionary. So that what we need to do, the name of the dictionary dot keys, and simply you run it, you will get all the keys from that dictionary. You can see that we have extracted only apple, banana, orange, and guava, which are the keys. And in case we need to extract only values, to do that, we also have values, a function that is associated with dictionary, whatever we make, and we can apply values function, and we can directly get it. So it's totally depend on your requirement. In case we need both key and value both, so we can use it with find out with items. Items is basically where we store dictionary key and value pair all together. So this is how we can get it. Although there are multiple way to extract key value pair, this is just one of them. Using loop we can extract Python keys and values. For loop we can extract that part. And this is just kind of a list comprehension. We can have multiple option to do it. I have put in one of them. For example, let me create one more dictionary here. I i'll explain you how can extract key value and uh, only the values or the keys from there. Let's say I have created a dictionary with the name of color, and I have put it C1 as a key, and here I'm giving some name, which is let's say red. And then I have created another key which is C2, and the name is, let's say, green. And let me put some more key and value pair. So C3 is like blue, and C4 is like white, right? So this is basically a dictionary. We can run it and we can check it out, the data type as well. Let me insert some empty cells here. So for this part, let's say using for loop, if we want to extract it, all the row, all the keys, all the values, we can do it, do using values as well. And we have one item function associated with dictionary. We can utilize that too. So I'm telling you how we are going to do it. You are going to apply for loop for I in, the name of the dictionary is color dot items, and you simply, once you print I here, you will see it extract value something like this. Let's say if I needed both the keys and values without those curly braces, and there should be no comma separated value. So I can, in case I needed only key, so I can extract a zero index. In case I needed only value, I can pass a one index. In case I needed both, so I can pass zero and one. I mean, I needed key and value both pairs. So this is the another way to extract it. Otherwise, you can simply use that's just a part of display. Previously, we have items, so we extracted all the key value pair, and you have seen here as well. And in case you want to display or output something like this, so you can apply it using for loop and you can extract the 0 and 1 index, right? Now let's talk about uh, remove item using dictionary pop method. So we have pop here in dictionary as well, in which we can remove a particular item from a dictionary. So in pop, basically we have to pass key. I mean, which key you want to pop out or delete or remove from that dictionary. So here in this dictionary, we have some subjects and their correspondence to the subject key. We do have some values as their marks maybe. So I just want to pop math from there. Math is a key. So we can simply use pop function and we can apply math and it will get removed. You see that math is not there. In case you want to apply for some other, let's say you want to remove English, so you can simply pass it like this. Clear? So pop basically works on key. In case you want to, you are getting output in forms of key from a dictionary and you want to delete some value from there. So using key, we can remove that. We have to apply a pop function to do it. Right. So the next part is pop item. So in case you want to remove using pop item, so pop item by default removes the last element. You can look into this part. You see that phy is not there. Clear? So it's up to you. If you are getting the keys, you can use pop. In case you want to remove the last element, you can apply pop item. And we do have delete method as well, using which we can delete that particular value. You see that I want to delete science from this dictionary. So delete, we have to apply like this. Delete, then the name of the dictionary, and in square brackets, we have to pass the name of key. So once you run it, you see that this particular value is not there. Right, so these are three different methods to remove any particular value or item from dictionary. One is pop. If you're using pop, you can pass the key. If you're using pop item by default removes the last element. In case you want to delete it using delete method, then you can use delete as well. So this is the syntax to do it. Now we are talking about a bit dictionary comprehension. I have written something related to that. The dictionary comprehension is a smart and simple way to create a new dictionary from Python iterable. So what are the iterable? Like list and tuple, these are the iterables. So here now how to create a new dictionary from iterable. So here we see that we do have two lists here. One is keys underscore list and one is values underscore list. So using these two lists, I want to create a dictionary where I'll put keys underscore list dictionary as a key and values underscore list as a values. So how you can do it? We have this syntax here and I have used the GIF function to do it. One is with curly braces, we are going to apply key, then value for key value in, we are going to, what we are going to zip keys underscore list and values underscore list. So once you run it, you will see it will zip out all the keys and values correspondence to their very first index. So you see the first index key correspondence to that we do have first index value here, then first index, second index key, and then second index value, and so on. So this is how we can use it. What zip function does, zip will basically match it with their one-to-one index from there for this and for this. And here key and value, these are two temporary variables. Although we have used as key value, you can have some other name as well. So where we are storing every key underscore list value into a key and values underscore list into a value. Then we are zipping that value out and storing as a dictionary. So here it goes. We have created it. Now what we want to do, and though for this part, those column, you can see that we wanted to have between this value and this value, so we have put it this. If you put some other value here, it will showcase you something like that. No, this is not gonna work, right? Yeah, this is not a structure of it, because we are going to convert it into a dictionary, so here we have to use those only. So here the next part is single condition with dictionary comprehension. Let's say we have a dictionary and we want to apply a specific condition on that. So how we can do it? We have this dictionary which we have already created, and for this dictionary my condition is this: if value uh, as if you divide value with 2, you should get a remainder as 0. So it will extract all the outputs where we do have remainder as 0, I mean all the even number from that dictionary. So this condition we have applied here. So it is going to be applied on values, because from this dictionary we have extracted two part. So all the keys are there into this and all values are into this. So we are going to apply condition on value, not on key, because key is a string and we cannot apply a mathematical operation onto any string part. You should be careful of it. The next is in case we need to apply multiple condition on dictionary. So how we can do it? Here we can see that this is the exact same dictionary. A bit changes I made here. And what I wanted to do, if value greater than 12 and if value is even number. So I have applied two condition here. So once you run it, you will see, I mean, we are extracting all the elements where we have value which is greater than 12, and that should be divisible by 2. So that's what you can see here, right? It has not considered 12 because the condition that I have given, that is greater than 12. If I make it, let's say this time, let's make it 10. And once you run it, you see it has not included this value as well. So this time, because this is greater than 12, and also this one and this one, although they are even as well. If I write it like this, so you see it is not this is not being considered here, because it is not going to satisfy both the condition. One condition is satisfied, which is value greater than 12, but it is not a even number. So this is how we have applied multiple condition on it. Now let's say we want to change the name of keys in a dictionary. So here what I wanted to do, I have this dictionary where I have multiple keys and values. So the keys like name, age, weight, country and city, and values we have dog, 5, 4, US, California. So what I want to do, I want to make uh, I want to change a name of this particular key, which is name. So I'll pop name from it and I'll give it a new name, which is animal underscore name. So once you run it, let me scroll up, you will see that this particular name has been changed. Previously it was sorry, it was name. Now we have make it animal name. Why it has coming as a last element? Because we used pop. So pop, because of pop, it moved to the last value, and then we make changes to this one. So this has to be put in here, right? So this is how we can do it. And let's move to the another part. In case we want to change the value of any key in nested dictionary, so we have dictionary inside a dictionary. Nested dictionary is here. That's what you can see. And here into this, there is one dictionary, animal dictionary. And under that, we do have animal with the name age, animal 1 with the name age, animal 2 with the name age. So I just wanted to make change with animal 1, which is a nested dictionary. So I have to pass two curly braces there. Here you can see, first I'll move to animal 1 and then I have to make changes here. So previously it was the age animal 1, age 5, and once you print dictionary, let me run it. Okay, here it is. Right. So previously it was 2, now we made it 5. You can see. So we moved to animal 1 and then age, and then we made it 5. And then we have animal 2. This is the name rabbit and age is 1. And previously we have age 5, and that is animal. So we have basically 3 dictionary. Inside a dictionary, main dictionary is animal dictionary, and inside that we have another 3 dictionary, animal, animal 1 and animal 2. So we wanted to make changes to animal 1. So we put it that, and we used again one more curly braces, square brackets, and then we pass for which we want to make changes. So it has changed 5. Let's say if I make it not for age, let's say for name, I want to make it dog. So once you run it, you see that this time it has become dog, right? And you know that how to delete a key from dictionary. So this is using a if condition. First we'll check whether that is available into that dictionary or not. If available, then we use the delete to delete that part. So this is a dictionary that you can see, fruits dictionary. So what we did with the if condition here, first we check whether that apple is there in fruits dictionary or not, and then we find it that true value was coming, and then on that value we have applied delete fruits dictionary apple. So once you run it, you will see apple will not be there. If I pass something like this, it has not removed apple, because first it checked it out that apple is there or not, because I have put it double E there, which is does not a match into the current dictionary, so it has not removed that part. So why we applied this into if and delete? First it will check if that value is there, then it will delete. If not there, it will not delete. Clear? In case we want to find out the min and max keys correspondence to the min and max value in a dictionary, how we can do it? So we can have a min and max function. We can apply that directly. Let's say this is a dictionary, and on that dictionary we have created a key from using a get fruits dictionary dot get, and all value we have stored into the dictionary, and here as well for the second part, and then we calculated min and max of that. So once you run it, then you can see the min value is apple, that's what you can see, and the max value is banana, which is 400. If you make changes here, it will be reflecting. So this time the min is this and the max is this. Clear? Now, for example, how to concatenate multiple dictionary in one. So we can use the update function to do it. So first we have created 3 dictionary. These are food, subject and animal. And then we have created an empty dictionary in which we are going to store after concatenating these multiple dictionary. So what we did, first we applied a for loop for dictionary in, and in that we have passed the name of dictionary, food, subject, animal, and then we use a update function to store that value into that empty dictionary, which is concat underscore dict. So what it does, first it will check that go to these entire part for fruit, subject and animal, and it store that value to dict, and then update that to concat underscore dictionary. So once you will run it, you will see that all has been concatenated to the fruit, subject and animal. Right. So here what we can see the sequence. For example, we add subject, animal, and we take fruits as a last one. Yes, that is fruit. So if you run it, you will see the sequence that you provide here. It will be concatenated based on that sequence that you have put it that here. So this is how we can concatenate multiple dictionary as one. In case we need to sum all the elements of a dictionary, how we can do? We can use a sum function to do it. This is a dictionary, and then we applied sum function outside the dictionary, and we will get all the sum of all the values. In case we need to apply multiplication for all the elements of dictionary, we can use for loop to do it. We have initiated a variable. We have applied a value to that variable as 1. If we are doing sum in place of multiplication, that should be 0. And then we have applied for loop, and we did a manipulation here on the keys, and then we find out the value. So this is the multiplication for all the elements of the dictionary. In case we want to do a sorting on dictionary using a key, then also we can do it. This is the dictionary, and we have applied sorted, and once you run it, you see that we do have a sorted dictionary. This is just a part that we just wanted to showcase. Here it will come key, and here it will come the values. So this is how, this is just a part of display. So here is the sorted dictionary that you can see, and based on the keys, right? So that has been alphabetically sorted. Fine, guys. Let's move to how to print dictionary as a table. In case you want to put dictionary as a table which looks like a tabular data, so that's also we can do. Here I have created a dictionary in which we have 3 keys: student, fruit, and subject. And in these 3 keys, we do have value as a list. So for a student, we have value as a list, and in that list, we have 3 records. And same goes for fruit and subject. So first, what we did here, look at to this syntax. For row in zip, what we did, we have put it key, then value, and then we sorted that dictionary items, and then we printed out all the rows. So you can see first it will take all the keys and then all the values, and it will look something like this. This is how you can apply. Sometime it is uh, people ask that how to do it, an interview and all. So in case we want to remove a space between dictionary keys, sometimes it happens that we do have some space between our values between a keys that we have put it. So here I have created keys, foods, and subject, and I have put it some extra space. So we can use that part. So once you run it, you see that it has removed all the extra space from that dictionary, right? We have used the translate, and we have applied none to this part, and then we run that value, and here we can see that it has been removed. Let me make changes to here. Okay, so 32 we applied, like in case that's a fixed value. Let's move how to remove no value item from dictionary. If we have none into that dictionary, how to remove that? So we can directly pass not none. Let's say we have applied a for loop here, and this is a dictionary, and we applied on the items, and we applied a condition: if value is not none, then only it will be printed. So here we had subject and animal with none values, they have not been printed here. So that is basically coming based on a condition. Then we have how to filter dictionary based on values. So in case we want to find out, in case we want to apply certain condition, and based on that condition, we have to filter out all the elements from that dictionary. We can apply the condition directly to the items. And here you can see key value, in dictionary name dot items, and we applied a condition. If value less than equals to 80,000, then only we'll get the output. So you'll see everything is less than 80,000 here. Okay. If we make it 1,20,000, so this will not be there in that list dictionary, sorry. Now, how to convert nested tuples into custom key dictionary. So basically, we have nested tuples which are there in a list, and we need to convert those into keys. How we are going to do it? First, we have created a nested tuples inside a dictionary, and then we have used a join. We have extracted uh, value for key value in dictionary. That's the name of dictionary. And then we applied a join, and based on the space we joined that. So that's what you can see, that that is your nested tuple value, and we make it as a key, and here we have applied this as a value. That's what you can see. You have to make bit moves, make certain changes to this code, then only would be able to understand that how it's working. And let's say if I make it something like this, so you will see that the name that which was there, those were the values in that nested tuple. So we make the join them as a one, and we wanted them to be joined with a space. So that's what we did here. In case you want to have hyphen, so you can do that too. It's up to you, or let's say the underscore, right? So these are the keys and these are the values now. So this is how we have made the dictionary using a nested tuple into custom key dictionary. In case we need to check number of keys have same value, whether how many keys do have this particular value, the exact same value, then we can also apply, we can define a variable, and then we can put that value which we want to match, and then we can apply a condition value and the assignment of it for value in empty underscore dictionary dot values, and then we can uh, find out that how many we basically sum those. So it will basically add how many keys do have a same value. So you see that Stacy, Max, and John, they do have same value, right? So this is how we extracted to it. We did something, and then whatever the value we generated from there, we summed out that value, and here is the output. Right, guys? If we make changes to here, let's say make it 90,000. So this time we do have two values. You can try to print exact those values where we do have this same value. You have to make bit changes to this code and you would be able to get it. Now, in case we need to convert dictionary object into string, so how we can do it? Basically, this is a dictionary in which we have these key value pair. So first we'll check we'll do the type, check the type for the existing dictionary, and then we'll convert that into a string, and then again we'll check the type of that, and then we print it. So here it goes. So first it was class dictionary, then it has become a string, and now these are the values that you can check. Now what is next? Like program to add multiple keys into dictionary. In case we want to add multiple keys, then yes, we can do that as well. So here we have person dictionary, in which we have person, city, and country as a basically key value pair we do have here. So what basically we want in person, I already have name as John. I want to add company and department as well. So I have put it person, that's the outside dictionary, and inside that I need to add company and department and their values. So once I'll run it, you will see now for person we have added Previously it was only name, then city and country, and now we have added company and department as well. Yeah, it was like that. All right. So this is how we can do something around the dictionary, and I believe I have covered a lot of thing all together. So if you'll explore it out, you would be able to understand and get prepared for the Python dictionary question. Rest it's up to the how much practice you did and how you try to make changes to the existing code to get the desired output. So that's it for today. I'll come up with some new interesting stuff in next video. Thanks everyone. Take care. Bye bye.